Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Kira and I am obsessed with all things beauty, true crime, video games, baby stuff, anything really I have a serious obsession with. And yeah, we're going to be diving into my makeup and mystery series. I did do this a couple years ago, but then I didn't like it, so I stopped doing it. But now I'm rebooting it and I'm doing different seasons and I'm really putting a lot of pressure on myself. But today we are going to be talking about Madelene McCann because this case is very, I don't know, I really got into cases like this when I was pregnant with Kai, so I'm just kind of like really into cases like this. They are very, very intriguing. I was literally reading about the Lindbergh baby kidnapping story today. I was talking to my grandmother about it. I can't believe that that happened 90 years ago. 90 years ago. Can you believe that? Like, that's so crazy. Maybe I'll talk about that in another video, too. Alright, sorry, I've got a lot on my plate to think about. But anyways, we're going to be talking a little bit about Madelene McCann, because I actually know a lot of this case by heart, because I've been so intrigued by it. Because Madelene McCann actually is still a missing person to this day. There's theories, but we don't actually have definitive proof of what happened to her. Her body, her remains haven't been found. And, like, nobody has ever been charged with her murder or her kidnapping. So, Madelene McCann was a little girl who went on vacation with her family. And now I'm sure that her family regrets a lot of different things with this case. But at the same time, like, I'm sure a lot of this case her family regrets, because, like, looking back, they're probably like, man, we could have done so many different things differently. And I'm positive that her family knows that, so there's, like, no point in saying, like, they shouldn't have done this, they shouldn't have done that. Because at the same time, we also don't know if this wouldn't have happened to Madelene McCann if they didn't do certain things. And it could have actually happened to somebody else. So while it might not have been Madelene McCann we were talking about, it could have been somebody else. So apparently, like, they were on, like, the family was on vacation to, I don't really even know exactly where, but her family was on vacation with, like, other friends. And so I'm gonna do a really colorful look, so I'm excited. But her family was on vacation with a lot of friends, and, like, they were at dinner or something like that. And this is what I'm talking about, where I'm saying, like, I'm sure they know that they could have done different stuff, and they regret it. And it's the fact that they actually ended up leaving the, like, hotel, like, apartment that they were renting for their vacation, the door unlocked, because they were just continuously going back and forth checking on the kids. So that is the important thing to note, is that the parents did leave the door unlocked. So I'm not saying like they were asking for it, because I don't think anybody would be asking for something like that. But we know nowadays, like, that is, like, and nowadays, that is kind of like asking for trouble. And like I said, I'm sure that if her parents could go back and change it, they would. But, I mean, like, there's no point, because if this hadn't happened to Madelene, it probably would have happened to somebody else, to be honest. Because, I mean, people are just, like, opportunistic criminals. When you think about it, like, they're assholes. And this was definitely an opportunistic crime. Like, because the door was unlocked. But anyways, the parents were going back and forth and checking on their kids. Obviously, that's obvious. So they kept going back and forth. And there are reports that they had been checking up on the kids, and Madelene was there with her two brothers, and I'm pretty sure it was 2 brothers. And they were all asleep. So it did happen later on. And it almost seems like whoever kidnapped her was like watching them and had to have known that the door was unlocked, because it wasn't the front door that was unlocked, it was the side door, which doesn't make it better, but I don't feel like somebody would just automatically guess, like, why is this not sticking to my lid, that this side door is unlocked and not the front door. Like, I personally believe that it was somebody who was watching them. Why is this not sticking to my lid? It did just fine on the other side. Like I said, I'm gonna go for a more colorful look today, because I'm really trying to play with colors, because I'm about to go into April and I'm about to order so much makeup. I'm gonna need to do a declutter when I order this makeup, because I'm like, it's gonna be a lot, because it is my birth month, so I'm spoiling myself. Ooh, I like that. I like that. That's actually kind of pretty. That layers on top of this. Really nice. But this isn't about the look. This isn't about the look. So anyways, I personally think that it was somebody watching the family. But after the dad had checked on the kids and Madeline was there, another parent was going back and checking on her kids. Because apparently all the parents there left their damn door open, just thinking it was okay. Because at the time it was. I actually think this was one of the cases that kind of like made it known, like, okay, we have predators in the world. It's not okay to do this. So, one of the other parents was going back and checking on her kids, and she saw Madeline's dad leaving. And she thought it was weird because she saw a man, I think his description was between like 20s and 30s, carrying a sleeping little girl that was Madeline's age, and she was wearing the exact same thing that Madeline was last seen wearing, which was like a pink pajama set. Kai got told no. And now he's cuddling me because he got told no. But anyways, so she thought it was suspicious, but at the same time didn't really think anything of it because she couldn't see the little girl, so she didn't know it was Madeline at the time. So what she said she thought was it was just a dad carrying his daughter who was sleeping, because they were like on a vacation, like they were at a vacation resort. So that would make sense. Mm-hmm. So she, like I said, she didn't think anything really of it because she couldn't. It was dark. It was late at night. She couldn't really see. But she checked on her kids. Her kids are fine and goes back to the dinner party. And then later on, Madeline's parents go to check on her and they find her two brothers, but she is missing, and that is when the search kind of begins. And that is when the search obviously begins. And you know, police are called. It's just like, it's kind of hard because, again, the family was on vacation, so it's not like they can stay there and, like, be a part of the investigation. Like, even though her parents are part of the investigation, I mean, like, this is such an old case. But it's just, like, it kind of, like, seems like it was, like, somebody was watching this family and planned it, and, like, it was just the, like, most opportunistic time when, you know, the kids are asleep and they know that the door is unlocked. And I really fault the parents for like not locking the door and like doing what they did. Like, to be completely honest, I don't think that anybody would do that nowadays. As a parent, I never would have ever done something like that, to be honest, because I have had firsthand experience about creeps and criminals living in the world. And it's not fun at all. But it's not fun at all. I wouldn't leave my kids like that. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't even leave my kids alone when I go to the bathroom. Like, my kids literally come into the bathroom with me. Like, I don't leave my kids alone. But anyways, like, I don't leave my kids alone. And, like, it's just, like, a big no-no. Like, it was always a big no-no. Like, even for me growing up. And I'm 23, almost 24. But anyways, like, it's just, like, it was always a big no-no. Like, even growing up, like, I remember I was always with somebody my parents trusted, whether it was my brothers, my sister, mostly my sister, or my grandparents. Like, I was not left alone. And it was partially because of cases like the JonBenet Ramsey case and cases like this, because, like, there's creeps in the world. I mean, like, let's just be honest. There's creeps in the world. Like, that, there's no other way to describe it. There's creeps in the world. Like, a person that would do this, take a little girl. Like, honestly, if you're somebody desperate to have a child and you kidnap a child from a family, like, that's horrible. But if you raise that child, like, to be a loving person, stuff like that, like, I can't fault you because you really wanted a child too much. Like, I can't fault you too much. Like, obviously you broke the law. And that's a problem in itself. But I just feel like there's a special place in hell for people who harm children. Like, Madelene McCann was like 4. And there's actually, I believe, a documentary on, I think it's Netflix, about this case. And it's really interesting. I actually watched it quite a bit. It's really interesting. I mean, like I said, like, I can't fault the parents too much. Because at the time, I don't feel like it was widely known about, like, pedophiles and stuff like that. And, like, you should keep your children under lock and key. But at the same time, I feel like it should have been, like, somewhat of a, like, known thing. Like, you should keep your children under lock and key when you're on vacation. I'm sorry if you feel like I'm a little hard on the parents. It's just, like, as a parent, like, I just feel like I don't know why some decisions were made by her parents. And, I mean, like I said earlier in the story, there was actually another family there with them that was doing the same thing, that literally had left their kids and was going to check on them and literally saw her dad leaving. And that's when they saw, like, what we assume now to be the kidnapper of Madelene, carrying Madelene McCann away. So I just, like, I guess it was more widely accepted back then. But still, the thing that gets me is that they were on vacation. And, like, I don't know. I just feel like the parents should have been, like, it could have happened to any family, because obviously, like, a bunch of people there were doing this. A couple families were doing this. Had left their kids asleep in their little apartment, hotel, whatever, to go down the street to eat. But like I said, it was a different time. Because I don't think that really any parent nowadays would do that, or else, like, if they did and the kid gets kidnapped and they were explaining this story where they were like, oh, well, we left our children, but we kept going and checking on them. But the door was unlocked. I think that people would be, like, more harsh about it and would be like, well, you were kind of asking for it if you left your door unlocked. But at the same time, I feel like that is one reason that they were chosen, because they had a blonde daughter with blue eyes. I mean, Jackson literally looks like me when I was a baby. Blonde hair and blue eyes. I don't have blue eyes anymore, but I mean, my niece has blue eyes. and neither of her parents have blue eyes. It's just like, it's just a kid thing, I guess. Like, it's just a kid thing. But I don't know. I mean, like, but I don't know. I mean, like, they have like people that actually have like with the John Bennett Ramsey case, became obsessed with it and kind of like confessed, but they were able to prove that that's not true. They have theories about who they think did it, but they can't prove it. And they think that they know like where it could have happened, but again, it's something that they can't prove. And you know, with this case being so old, somebody would have to come back with definitive proof for them to even be able to prosecute this person. And from the documentary I watched on it, this person that they think did it, which I do not know how to say his name, holy hell, they actually think that he is God. Oh shit. Um shit. But yeah, like they actually think that he is the person that they think that actually did this is a like multiple time criminal. Like this isn't his first like crime, and he's not actually in the country that it happened in anymore. Um, so it's kind of a little hard for them to be able to prosecute him because then they'd have to get an extradition warrant, and to get an extradition warrant, they actually like have to be able to prove like yes, this is the man that did it. Like we aren't making a mistake. And I mean, like there is like much like the John Bennett Ramsey case, like there is so much. Like you can literally like go and literally see in stores. Like there's magazines about it. Like you'll see Madelene McCann's name in magazines a lot because like they're still trying to solve this case. And this is one of those cases that I honestly don't think we're gonna be able to solve, to be completely honest. It's just hard. It's really hard because it was a inopportune time. We knew like the door was unlocked. It was nighttime, so there really wasn't no witnesses. Well, their excuse was he's got more experience. I'm hoping that this video will like inspire other people to maybe talk about this case because I don't have a big audience, so maybe somebody else who does can get a little more attention on this case, even though there is a lot of attention on this case. Like, but maybe somebody knows something and is able to crack the case open because, like, I'm hoping that, like, I'm sure, like, a lot of people are hoping that are involved in this case that she is alive and living a good life, but at the time that I'm filming this, I don't think that she's alive. I did just go ahead and double check on my iPod to like make sure I'm giving out accurate information when I am filming this. Kai, don't pull my hair. And her remains, well, it says that her whereabouts remain unknown online at the time I'm filming this, but that the German prosecutors do believe she is dead. And I mean, like, I think that that is a more widely accepted kind of thought, honestly, is that she was killed by whoever abducted her. It's just the question is kind of like, the question is where's her remains is the biggest question. Because her parents, you know, deserve to be able to bury their daughter. And I mean, like, her parents deserve to know what happened to her. Like, they shouldn't spend their time wondering, like, if she is alive, if she, and stuff like that. I wasn't able in my research to find really anything updated about what the parents think, about if they think she's alive or dead. So if you have information about that, put it down below. But if you have information about that, then put it down below so we can be giving out accurate, updated information always. But yeah, so if you have information on that, then leave it down below so we can always be giving out accurate information, because that's all we really want to do is give out accurate information so that we can hopefully help the families of these victims have closure. Oh, hopping highlight, I love it. Might have used a little too much, but I have a couple other videos I'm going to film, so I need this makeup to last a little bit. I need this makeup to last a little bit, and I went a little overboard with the highlight, but I don't care. But yeah, I'm curious as to what you guys think. Do you guys blame, like I said, I put a little bit of blame on the parents, but at the same time I don't, because it was a different time, so, and they could not have guessed this, and clearly other people were doing the same thing. Because even if you look the case up, then you know that the McCanns were on holiday with friends and family, which is what I talked about, and how other friends of their family had kids and they did the same thing. We're going on checking on their kids, because nowadays, like, nobody would do that. Like, nobody would leave their kids by themselves in an unlocked hotel room. Like, our door is literally locked 24/7. But yeah, I just want to know, like, what you guys think about the Madelene McCann case. What you think happened. And is this a case you actually think will ever get solved? Because I don't think it's ever actually going to get solved. This is just one of those cases that's kind of like, you should ought to look, I think. As harsh as that is, I don't want to be looked at in this video and be like, ah, oh, she's a bitch. Because I'm not. I'm just telling my personal opinion in this experience of, like, what I know about the law. And I'm a little biased towards it because I'm like, why did you leave the door unlocked? That's my personal, like, hatred of this case. Like, why did you leave the door unlocked? Because if you had left it locked, this wouldn't have happened. Like, we wouldn't have this little innocent girl that might have gotten killed, who didn't deserve to get killed, and we don't even know how or why or anything or who did it. So yeah, that's like it. I hope you guys enjoyed. So like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. All that social media great stuff. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.